Here's the thing. The ruler of this world wants you to complain, wants your energy, wants your frustration, wants all the mockery. What he doesn't want is for you to take action, for consistency. These things were going to happen. It said that it was going to happen. Sin. Look around. Homosexuality at its highest. Look around. That sort of spirit is free. Bloodshed every day. People dropping dead every second. Prophecy. This was going on before us. This is nothing new. It's just spreading. Every time you choose to procreate or you have a child, that child is born into the sin, into seeing all of this death, bloodshed, homosexuality. Is that not influence? They themselves have to stay strong in themselves. They themselves have to find their individuality and stand solid, because you can't control everything and everyone. You can't control what you'll have to do, where you'll have to go, who and what family you're born into. You could be born into a family with that sort of spirit, that influence, going to school and classes, sitting among these people, watching them on TV. They're in every movie. You can't even. So this ruler knew that it frustrates you. And he does all these things to mock you, the sort of spirit you are. And he's waiting for us to give in, to fall in line, to blend in. But we're individual. We know who we are. We're not confused. We're not easily swayed to the left, to the right. Yeah, we're not perfect beings, but we at least still know who we are, right? I have not always told the truth, little truths, big truths, but I still know who I am. I still align with my creator. I still have that connection. I still agree with his ways. His ways are my ways. The things he forewarns us about, I have seen to see why he does. I agree. Nothing that he has said in the Holy Bible is a lie. Nothing. Look around. everything written in the Holy Bible has happened. And guess what? It has happened before me, before I was even existing here physically. My ancestors had to see this. They had to be around this. And just as them, they had to stand 10 toes down, even though there's so much influence. There's influence when you step foot in this place, let alone that building or that school or that home. When you open your eyes to this world and your ears, you have no choice but to be among this. You see? You see? And we don't hate anyone. No, of course not. But there should be no influence. They should respect you and respect your ways. They should respect God and respect his ways. There should be more of a choice. But it seems as though we have not been given that choice. Certain laws allowing certain things to transpire, not giving us a choice. I'll give you one prime example, one abomination. You allow men in women bathrooms. You allow natural, God-created men. I don't care what they feel they are. I don't care what the law says they are. I don't care if they change their birth certificate. I don't care about that. Because that's all lies. That's all deceiving. That's all changes. What it is and what it always will be. Before you changed your name, before you changed your skin color, before they took or trying to take our rights away. That is the truth. That is what matters. So you're taking a certain side. You're taking away their rights. Are you not? Is it equal? I don't think so. How about you ask the women if they're okay with that? I'm sure you did not ask for permission from these women and these children. You didn't ask permission to the women and the daughters to enter their private places. No, you did not. Instead, it's about what you want, what you feel, who you want to be today. And you feel like the world is supposed to just accept it, that it doesn't matter about anyone else. If I want to be a boy today, you're just going to accept it. And if I want to, as a woman, a born woman, use the boys' bathroom, I'm going to do it. I don't have to ask for permission. Really? Something doesn't seem right there. So there's no hatred to any of these people that do whatever they choose to do, because that's free will. But what the problem is how you're going about it. You're not being fair. And you know why you're not being feared? Whether you know it or not. It's because that spirit in you is unruly, is unfair. And it's spewing from your actions. Because you can do whatever you want to do. Do it. But do it alone. Don't force anyone else to bow down to you. That sounds like Satan. That sounds like his ways. Don't force me to. Jesus never forced anyone. Not in the scriptures, not when he was here. You don't read anything about him forcing anyone. So why is it that this sort of people with this sort of spirit and this sort of way, if it's not their way, you're canceled. You're fired. It's a hate crime. You should be stoned. Oh, really? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? These sort of people did the same thing to Jesus. And Jesus said they do the same things to you. Can you see? Can you see in every way spews the same message? We don't come with hate. We come with understanding. I understand that you can choose. But you need to be fair about it. I'm not forcing my ways on you. Why are you forcing your ways on me? Why are you forcing your ways on women and children? Why are you doing that? You see, that's Lucifer's mockery, because he knows what he's doing. And so, of course, we people are going to react to it. Of course we are. So me asking why you do the things you do, why you do nonsense, why you treat us so unfairly, unjust. We know why. It's not really a question, because they're not going to answer it, because it doesn't make sense, because it is unfair. That's why when Jesus asked them certain questions, they chose not to answer it. They just said, I don't know. Power in the words. They'll just choose not to say anything. Or they'll choose to plead the fifth or to play the victim. Oh, she hate crime. Oh, she's judging me. She's judging me. Discrimination. I didn't ask you about your skin tone. I didn't disrespect you. I didn't ask you why you're trying to change your gender. I didn't ask you those things. I said, why didn't you ask for permission? No. See, here's the thing. They'll say things like, because I'm a no. See, they're still in lies. They're still in deception. They still think they're slick. They still think they're off the hook. Oh, well, because I'm a woman. No, you're not. That's the whole reason why we're having this discussion, fool. You're entering the woman's bathroom. If you were a woman, I would not stop you and ask you. I'm giving you that respect to ask you, and you're still taking it as disrespect, because I'm not considering you. I'm not quote unquote considering you. I'm not abiding, kissing your feet on what you feel you want to be. Because it's feeling that you want to be these things, choosing that you want to be these things, but you are not. According to God's law, according to God's creation, according to the existence of God. Because if there was no God, there would not be you. And since there is a God, he created you. What are you, sir? That would have been disrespectful too, because, oh wait, I called this person that chooses to be other than what they really are, without them answering the question. A question that was supposed to be a simple Question. Now we in court. Now this is up to discussion, and that is why I have to say something. And that is why when you speak to this side, when you speak to these certain spirits, we already know when we speak to them, we have to be very very intentional, meaning like we can't allow our emotions to get the best of us, because that spirit in them, boy, is waiting for us to slip, waiting for something to sound hateful, waiting so they can say, see, your God is hateful. You follow Jesus Christ and y'all are judgmental. They're waiting. And you know, none of us is perfect. You see how there's no mercy when it comes to us. They give us no mercy. They're waiting for us to mess up. They're waiting for us to say something that we can't get ourselves out of. Instead of just answering the question, they will argue us down so that it could rise our emotions. Because again, we're all humans. So it does happen, right? And then something slips out. And then that's when they so-called win. They so-called feel they're right. And everyone sees it. And that's where the majority is. See, we know this. There's nothing slick about it. It's very sad and disappointing. It's pathetic, really. But it is the truth, and that's why I want to make awareness to it. They are waiting. You see, it's all mockery. They know that what they're doing, just like the influence, how it's spread across everything, they know what they're doing. They know it's going to get a rise out of us. Of course it is. Because now they're cornering us. They're giving us no choice. They're giving us no rights. It's becoming very slim to where now you literally have to live off the grid. You got to take your children out of these schools if you want to teach them a certain way. Because this is the agenda. Literally. This is what they're studying. This is the focus. This is in everything. You literally have to bubble yourself in this. And there is no way we're going to do that. Because that means that they've taken over, you see. See, that was the whole point. To conform to this. And if we don't, then we're pushed out. We're pushed in. We're shut in. Just as they do us anyway, right? They prison us. They punish us. They exclude us. They set us apart. But we only allow God to do that because he does that for a reason, to build us up, to prepare us for all of this, right? Because now we can know what isolation is, to endure it, just in case it happens, because it is happening when we speak up, doesn't it? Sending us to prison, right? They might desecrate us for the truth, so we die in the truth, don't we? He has built us up for this moment, training our whole lives for this. That is why we're so bold, because they are too. So of course we had to be. Look at them. They're waiting. We have to be very strategic. We have to know ourselves. We have to know what patience is. And if the world wasn't going to teach us those things, thank God he did. Because now that we're in the world, look at what the world teaches. Look at what they're choosing to focus on. The exact things that my father, our father, and not even just our father, what we know inside isn't true. What we inside know don't align with our souls. You see, again, there's no disrespect to the other side. We don't come with disrespect. We come with fear is fear. If that's what you choose, that's what you choose. If this is what I choose, let's meet in this place of understanding. But again, it doesn't seem. What you're doing is you're taking away our rights. And you know that. But you would never say that. And instead, you'll play the victim and you'll fire us. And you'll say they're discriminated against us. And you got people out here shut up about it because now they're in fear of you, people. How dare you? The audacity, right? The audacity. This is whoever the shoe fits, wear it. Because again, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be homosexual. Do you, boo? Do you? Right? And if you're doing you, minding your business, that's between you and God. Okay? But once you start forcing it on other people, persuading them, influencing them, like deliberately, okay? Intentionally, right? A child should be a child. I mean, my God, I'm 31. When I was a child, we didn't have that in school. That wasn't the agenda. The grown folks knew about it, but I didn't know about it. I know the spirit consciously as a child did not know. You know? And thankfully, it wasn't around me, right? Sex, any of those X-rated things that a child shouldn't be prone to see at that age. That wasn't around me. The closest thing that when I look back and reminds me that it's spiritual, it's also, it's clearly spiritual, is playing house. The kids play house. Someone's the mom, someone's the dad, playing those roles. Again, I come with understanding, because if I think back, and this wasn't in my actual family, but I do remember this is the age of 7, 6, and well, let me say 6, 7, 8, around there. I remember there was a girl that I went to school with. She ended up not going anymore. But she invited me to her house one day. I went over. It was me and her in her mother's room. She wasn't really like someone that I was used to playing with or anything like that, but she didn't really have many friends. I remember that it was a game that she wanted to play. And I remember she distinctly said, "It's a game." So someone told her this was a game, because I remember it. And I had conviction. Right then, at the age of, I was like no more than 8, 7. I tell you, it is spiritual. I mean, I'm a spirit, ain't I? At the young age of that, I remember she got in back of me. We were standing up. She got in back of me, and then in the back of her was the bed. And she said, "I'm going to fall on the bed. And you're going to stand in front of me, and we're going to fall." Right? So when I fall, I'm going to fall on her. And she wanted to play this game. I never knew what this game was, right? This is first for me. Never done anything like this. And I remember when it happened, I remember when I tried to get up, she held on to me. So she was holding me while I was on top of her. My back was facing her front. And I remember I was uncomfortable. I remember I went home. I remember I told my grandmother. That's how you know. I said, "Mommy," I don't remember exactly word from word, but it was simply, "Mommy, I don't want to go back over there no more." I probably told her, like, we were playing this game, and like she wanted me to fall on her, and I didn't, clearly the message was the message. Like I was uncomfortable to the point my spirit didn't like it, right? Like I felt something in me that didn't feel right. And she said, you don't have to go back over there. And that was at the age of 7 or 8, no more than that, you know? And I'm just saying that I understand that it's a spiritual warfare. It's it started somewhere. It's happening everywhere, right? It's happened before I was existing. It was happening. This world is dark. It's in the spiritual realms. It can be in every household. It can be anywhere. It can be in you, right? Anyone can try it. Anyone can do it. Anybody could be curious. Just like with anything, like I can try anything. But what holds you back from those things is knowing who you are, right? Because I don't think when you hear, oh, having boundaries, I don't think that penetrates. Because, like, what is that really? Oh, what holds you back is boundaries. What does that really mean? What holds you back is your morals. Yeah, but what does that really mean? Like, where is all that coming from? It comes from you, knowing you. I personally, when I was 16 and 17, they enrolled me into a military school. I was living in Buffalo, New York at the time. So I went to Maritime. Most of those, well, can't say most, but there was women there, well, young girls. There was young girls that were homosexual. But that wasn't it. That's not my point. I'm trying to allow you to focus on the fact that people just tried it, okay? They were open to it. They were influenced just because, right? Because why not? Because you can choose to. What stopped me was because it's not me, right? And I know who I am. I know what I like. That's all I will say about that, because there's nothing else to say. You need to know who you are. And again, if that is you, right, and the things you choose, your decision, okay, no problem. But it comes down to how you choose to deal with that, okay? How you choose to deal with it. Like, are you choosing to hide? Are you choosing to lie? Are you choosing to deceive? Are you choosing to influence because you don't want to feel alone or this? Or see, whatever happened to whatever you want to do, you do it in your own house, respectfully. Because even in other countries, it's against the law, not even, but it's actually a form of disrespect to show all your private things that should be kept private in public. Right? So that means like anything sexual. Let's be real. It can be a form of disrespect, especially if I have kids, young children. They shouldn't be seeing that. But because it's legal and you're able to be public with it in this country, you still take upon yourself to do the dang thing. Do it the way you want to do it. Don't think about nobody else. You see, America, when people come to America, they know that they have freedom in a way. That sort of freedom. Freedom to be who you want to be, when you want to be it. Excuse me, right? That's what America is. Besides America being so many other things, people know when they're coming from those other countries and they had to hide what they've done or what they want to be. They come here and you see them. They embrace it. But they couldn't get away with those things in the places they came from or in those other places they may want to visit. No. And I'm not here to say that America should change that sort of law, right? No, because here's the thing. The beautiful thing about having freedom to choose is in alignment with God's way. Because then it shows the individual. Meaning, if you're homosexual or you choose to do drugs, you take it upon yourself to choose also to do it in public when you know that there's children, that there's influence, that there's power to that, because people look up to you, people look to you, people see you. That's an individual thing, right? That's an individual judgment. And that's why I keep saying, if that's what you choose to do, that's between you and God. But what you won't do is force me into changing my ways, force me into changing my understanding, forcing me to change my beliefs. I have no physical children, but I have spiritual children. So forcing my children to have to study this, to have to align with it. When we were in school, we couldn't even pray. We couldn't have Bibles for religious reasons. So y'all need to consider all this religious things and keep it the same energy, because it's an individual thing. And if it's an individual thing, then it should not be publicized the way that it is. Keep it in yourself. Keep it amongst whoever chooses to be among it. But if I don't choose to be among it, why is it that when I open my door, when I turn the TV on, when I listen to music, it's there? It's everywhere. On top of that, it ain't even the government anymore. It ain't even the higher powers. It's the people. It's what they're choosing. They're falling, right? They're falling asleep to this. They're not saying anything about it. They're not speaking up no more for their rights. When they do, and shout outs to them. But it's also the fact that there's a lot more of them than it is us. Do you see? You know, this is a touchy subject. A lot of things are. Shoot, everything is dark. What do you mean? Everything I'm speaking is touchy. And this just happened to be one of those things. And I just want to rehearse that right there. There's a lot more of them than it is us. Isn't that an understatement? Oh my God. I mean, I don't go out often, not as I used to at all, really. But I remember, I was probably 24 or 25. No, it probably was like 26. But either way, several years ago, I went to a game place, and I don't know if it was the whole high school. I don't know, but it was, younger people, but they were all gay. Every guy in there was like gay, almost like it was a gay party or something. I don't know, but I was just surprised, because even though I was fairly young, they looked like they were teenagers. And there were so many of them. And so I'm saying that to say that what is happening? What is happening to our men? What is happening to our young men? And that's why it's so touchy, because it's heartbreaking. It's so crushing. There's no hate there. It's just sadness. I just don't expect to see so many, right? I don't expect to see statistics being the majority. You know, when you see the charts and you see what it used to be, you know, how men used to be so masculine and men used to be solid in who they were and wasn't flip-floppy or, you know, and we can speak about the women as well, of course. Same thing with them, but if this, I think what it is that, yes, just as we've heard this is a man's world, just as we've been programmed to, you know, or to believe that, you know, men are the head, the leaders. Well, I think that's also where it comes from, that we do look to y'all naturally. Like, as tough as I can be, I know what a man is. It's in my nature to know that he is a man. Like, he leads, he's capable, he just is, right? By spiritually and physically. It's just how you're made. It's how you're created beautifully. So again, it's just the simple facts of what is widespread. Like, it's just, I said fallen away, but I just mean that people are choosing that side. People are, okay, maybe they'll say that they don't choose. Okay, they're on that side. Right? Because now it's, oh, I don't choose this. Okay, well, you're on that side. And I didn't expect for there to be majority of the men in this world now to be on that side. I mean, the message is always going to be the same. The minority is us, right? With these ways. So, you know, the minority being godly way. You see, it's still the same message. God said it's the minority. We're going to be the minority. And then with everything, you see, because we know that God's way, right, and God's creation, let's just be real, our Father God, we don't know who's their father, who they serve, but our Father created man for woman. Correct. Okay? And he made a man to be different than a woman, and a woman to be different than a man, but for each other. We can study this scientifically as well. You have estrogen, we have, you know, what we have. So a man is a man for a reason, and a woman is a woman for a reason. So yes, this does need to be talked about. It doesn't need to be talked about in a hateful way. No. Just, it's a discussion. And why is it a discussion? Because it's in your face. If you're coming from a hateful place, then that raises questions. But again, to corner someone and think that they're not supposed to speak about a certain topic, a topic that is publicized, to think that they can only speak about themselves and we can't speak about them and how we feel, it's crazy. And that's what they want, you see, taking over something, taking over the world. That's what the ruler wanted. Because look around, look at your young men, look at them. I had to say that with a weak voice. Look at them. Look at them. Look at my beautiful men. And then it sucks for the women, it sucks for the real women that, love men, need their men to be men, want a family, want a natural family, don't want to go to science to have a surrogate or blood, a donor. Like, no, we want what? Like, we just want it how it was in the beginning. Right? The way our Father created naturally. I just want it naturally. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to them that do the dang thing, create these things. But again, because we're not coming from a hateful place. But can I believe in what I believe in? Can I follow what I follow? Can I speak about what I want? And the people that the shoe fits, can they, hear these things without being canceled, fired, and shut up? Yeah, because all you hear now is about this new scientific experiment, this clinical trial, so that you can have artificial children. You can have children without an actual man and a woman. Okay. So then that's not my Father's ways. That's man ways, right? And so that's what I'm saying, that I follow my Father's ways. That's all I'm saying. I follow my Father's ways. Can I say that? Because my God, you follow your Father. And you're doing his work, and you're being your Father. I see your Father in you, right? So when you see me, you should see my Father in me. That's it. So why are you discriminating against me? I'm not discriminating against you. Why are you canceling me if I'm not canceling you? I'm just talking about my ways and my rights. See, there's a difference. Once again, when it comes to that other side, they discriminate against us. They take away our rights. They want to cancel us for just speaking up about how we feel. If you ask me a question and you don't want to answer and you're not ready for it, that's not my fault. Right? This is my interview. But you want to end the interview. No. This is my interview. See, there's no fear. There's no fear treatment in that. You came to ask me a question about how I felt, but what you really did was you came here with the intentions to catch me in something, to make me out to be discriminatory, even though I actually wasn't. It's just that I stated my opinion. And that was the whole point of this, right? To state my opinion, to know how I feel about it. But again, you didn't come here with that in mind, with my best interest, with how I actually feel. You didn't care because you didn't like what you hear. And that's why I wouldn't choose to talk to people, to talk to certain people in that aspect. You see what I mean? Because they didn't really come to hear you. No, they did not. This is not about, treating everyone with love. Okay, well, you're not treating me with love if you canceling me, if you're taking away my rights, if you're going into children's bathroom, man, if you're going to women's and children's bathrooms. Where is the love? Where is the love? But you want to say, oh, that's discriminating. Against what? Against what? What you want us to kiss your feet? Like there's a thin line now, okay? All that kinky stuff should have been in a private place. Anything of what you feel you want to be outside of yourself should have been in your own dwelling. And if it isn't, then don't force anyone to bow down to you. Don't force me and try to end my interview because you don't like what I'm saying. When you get up on these programs and you on Fox 5 and you on these publicized programs, popular movies and shows, when you out here getting your money and your coins because you're getting booked to teach and be in fellowship with these people like an evangelist, and it's accepted, but the one time that you want to interview me or someone want to ask me about how I feel about it, or if I feel I got rights in this, you ready to end me right there. And I ain't even getting paid for it. Something ain't right. something ain't right. I mean, it never been right, but this helps to remind me. It just keeps me awake that you're asking for it. You know, that's what I mean. The mockery. They're waiting for you to get upset. Because when someone's doing something that just doesn't seem right, doesn't make sense, you're going to start like having no choice. It's going to make you feel something you never felt before. It's going to make you feel like you want to do something you never done before. Because it's creating this whole new thing. Like, what? It's like when you got to hear it again. What did you just say? What did I just see? Something that's not natural. It makes you have to think about it. Because it's just like, is my eyes seeing what I'm seeing? Did I just hear what I heard? So yes, you have to be very strategic when you talk to these certain people with these certain spirits, because they know what they're doing. They're doing something abnormal, right? Unnatural. And they want you to get with the program. And it's just like, no, sir. No, sir. So what helps me is clearly I stay by myself. So I don't even have to deal with people if I don't want to deal with them, let alone those sort of people. You ain't going to find me around that sort of thing. Now, if I have no choice but to work with them, of course, respect, but my choice. You're not going to find me somewhere parading around. You're not going to find me somewhere, yeah, no, you're not going to find me, what's that word? We'll just say parading around in support of it. No, I'm minding my business. I'm going to just do my own thing, like in my own lane. I'm not supporting nobody, but my ways, like my godly ways. And right now I'm in isolation, so I'm just by myself. But again, it really just comes down to do what you want to do. No one's saying that you can't do those things. Do what you want to do, but don't force anyone to abide by it. Stop passing laws that takes away other people's laws, other people's rights. Isn't that fair? But since they never were fair, they never were trying to be fair, it's not going to be, right? So they're going to try to take over everything. Take over the schools, the programs, everything. Take over your children's minds and take over your young man's minds. Yeah, they straight to the young men. Yeah, the men of the world are colored men. Yeah. Look around. Look around. There was one time where several years ago, I went out to this place. I went out to eat one time. I can't even consider it a date because the person I was with, we didn't even talk. And he really wasn't even there. He was fixing this car the whole time. Something had happened to his tire, but I was in this restaurant by myself pretty much. And I just remember this guy staring at me across the room. He was fine. He was fine. Fine. Okay? Because I was looking too. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. But, I'm eating my food and I just noticed he's staring. But here's the thing, across from him was a man. Yeah. I already knew what that was. So what made it even weirder was I could just tell everything. I could tell he was the alpha. He was sitting there without any food, just staring at me, looking at me, trying to play googly eyes with me. I'm over here eating my salmon at the time, looking forward, because I would have to kind of turn my head a little bit to look his direction. And I remember seeing his date. He's eating, right? He has a plate and his head is down, right? I noticed that his date wouldn't look up at him, right? He'd just be eating. They wouldn't be talking or anything like that. Like there was some sort of control. Like he knows what's up. And I remember getting up, going to the bathroom. And right when I came out the bathroom, guess who was there? Yeah, it was him. And he was just saying things like, you're so beautiful, and oh my goodness, can I have your number? I would like to get to know you and take you out. And I said, thank you. You look good as well, but you know why I can't do that. He said, I understand. So it was an understanding. I didn't have to say, oh, I'm not into men that date men knowingly, because I'm pretty sure I've met men that probably do the dang thing, but I didn't know. But I actually seen it, right? I seen him with a guy and he was fine. So yeah, I didn't lie. I said, you look nice too, right? You look good, but no, I'm not interested. He says, I understand. Because I said, you know why? He said, okay, well, can I at least have your Instagram and boom, boom, boom. So telling you that was to show you just a lot of things. A lot of things. Just disappointment. Even with me, even though he was fine, he was interested in me. What allowed me to make my decision was knowing the truth, right? I knew what he was on, what time he was on, what he was into. And if I was a person that wasn't so secure in my morals and things like that, I would have been like, okay, whatever, yeah, because this guy wants to take me out. He looked well together, clean, fit, everything, had a nice job, like boom, boom, boom. But I'm just not into those things. And that's also not the territory I want to enter. You see, I don't want to enter that place. No, 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 no. So that was it, right? That was it. I didn't entertain it, any of those things. Now I did give him my Instagram, and I remember when I got home, he liked most of my pictures, and so I went to click on his page. It was private. It was private, but I was able to see from his like little bio that he was a firefighter and things like that. But that was it, right? That was it. You don't entertain those things. And especially if you're sure, if you're not sure, you're gonna play around. You're gonna entertain it. But when it comes to certain things like that, when it comes to like my sexuality and things like that, I'm very sure about that, right? And people don't, and that's what I mean. When you don't entertain, people don't mess with you. They'll try you to see who you are, like, oh, you like girls, and this, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't like girls. I don't like them like that. And they'll leave you alone. That's it. But when you find someone that's entertaining it, someone that's like, oh yeah, I mean, for me, I find that if you're entertaining it, then you're okay with it. You know, you're okay with it to the point where you'll indulge in it. That's how I see it, right? I can't. It's like you're either in or you're out. That's it. It's not saying, oh, I'm not going to respect you. It's not saying, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. If you talk to me, no, I'm going to respect you. But when it comes down to the point of it, right? Am I gay? Am I bi? Am I gay? No. Right? So they won't pursue you in a way where they're going to bring you into that world. Now, us being professional, yes, we're going to talk. We're going to do what we have to do, say what we have to say to each other. But when you don't entertain them, when it comes to that, they will not try to pull you into their world. And that's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. This is not a topic that is exercised a lot. And for me personally, I don't really have much to say other than that, right? So I hope I said it decently. But that's it. I feel like I'll say it once and I won't have to say it again. Just like if I tell someone that I'm not interested, I don't go that way, they leave it alone. We don't never have to talk about it again. So I'll leave that there.